I think I'm able to communicate more clearly and
Mm,
honestly with other people. And I feel like because of that, I've been able to make stronger like relationships and friendships, like a stronger bond because it's just more meaningful. So when you connect and you show up authentically, it just people know that that's who you are. And it's not like you're performing. Again, it's not like you're putting up facade, like kind of when you're dating, it's like, ooh, you want to be, you want it's like this is me, like, hey. And if they ask me, and it's so hard sometimes because sometimes people are like, oh, how are you? It's like, don't just ask me, because I know here again within our culture, it's like, oh, hey, how are you? They don't want that 5 minute
yeah.
detail of how are you. It's like, so people already know, don't ask her because she will share how she's doing. So if you ask me how I'm doing, I will say, well, you know what?
I
Let me
love
tell you how
that.
my day. And then ask, and how are you doing? Or how's the family, or whatever we left off on. So it's like I really want to make sure that I'm there for those real connections.
Hello and welcome to the Field Podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Crook. I'm here with a local friend of mine here in Fresno. I have introduced you to some of my friends from the Fresno County Women's Chamber of Commerce that I've met. And Marianela Borbon is another one of those friends. And she and I connected at an event for the chamber probably about a year and a half ago now. Our friend Drea Ginto was hosting something. And we started talking, and I was like, oh my gosh, you need to be on my podcast. Wow, your story. And so we're going to unfold and help you get to know this incredible woman today, what she's doing, how she's showing up in the world, how her values and the things she cares about and who she is a person are so completely, organically, firmly aligned with the things that she's engaged with and the ways that she shows up in these spaces. She describes herself as encouraging, community oriented, grounded, resilient. She's a visionary. She's empathetic. Marianela, welcome to the Field Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh man, I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm excited.
All right. Well, my friend, let's get going in this conversation. Let's start with your journey with self-care. What has that been like for you?
Yes. I'm actually still learning, and I feel like I kind of adjust. Um, it was very challenging at the beginning because I feel like it was just years of prioritizing others and prioritizing other aspects of my life
Yeah.
before myself. And so I kind of started small, and my goal was being consistent.
Right.
And the reason I say goal is because I'm very goal oriented. I break up my years into quarters, and I'm always on go mode, like go, 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 do, 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 do. And I'm like, okay, it needs to stop. There has to be a point where I need to ask for help. And
Mhm.
sometimes it's not just asking for help, but helping myself. And so what I
Mhm.
did, I started very small, and the plan was to be consistent, to build it into a habit. And so I started listening to my body, and just kind of tuning in, like, okay, I need a rest because I am dealing with health issues. And so I kind of have to kind of tune into how's my physical body doing? Am I in pain today? How am I feeling emotionally, mentally? And so self care for me looks a little different every day. It's not like this is what I do consistently at this time, or it's like a set thing that I do. It just looks a little bit different. Either I'm resting, I'm unplugging, I'm prioritizing movement or quiet time, or just jumping on my massage chair. And so I just make it a habit to practice it every day and be consistent. So be consistently practicing that habit of wellness, and
Yeah.
not making it like, if I don't do it at 7 a.m. or I don't do it at 5 a.m., then it's all done and I'm not going to do it anymore. It doesn't matter. So for me, it's more of,
Mhm.
I'm starting my day strong. I'm going to do this. And if it doesn't happen, then maybe it's going to happen later, maybe at lunchtime, maybe in the evening, or you know what, right before bed. It doesn't matter the time for myself. Is just
Mhm.
now it's a habit that I've done it daily, that it just happens whenever my body's asking for it. So maybe I need a, rest and
Mhm.
unplug, or put my feet up, or I just need a quiet time and just be still. again, because I do operate on go mode. So maybe I just need
Mhm.
to unplug and unwind. So it just looks different for me on every single day.
Yeah. I love the flexibility you allow yourself in that because you own a business and your business is not a 9 to 5 kind of thing.
Yes.
You are in a venture where you're involved in parties and celebrations, and those things happen at all different times and all different days. And so
Mhm.
there is a flexibility that goes within that to allow yourself to move within that space, that listening to your body piece.
Mhm.
Boy, that is such a key component, that being present enough to do that. I love, and you look at your calendar and you listen to your body and be like, okay, I'm sensing I need this. How's this going to work today? Where are we going to do this? But you've made
Mhm.
that, you've set that boundary of daily, something's going to happen and I'm going to meet myself where I am that day, and that will
Mhm.
unfold accordingly. I love that. That's a great combination of healthy boundary and flexibility because you understand that your body may not respond well to
Mhm.
do, or your schedule may not allow for it because of the kind of work you do and the unique hours that can be involved with that. But
That's
talk to me.
correct.
Yeah. I mean, anything, but with the health stuff, and
Mhm.
trying to manage a business, and you have a family and you're a partner and all of these things. Talk
Mhm.
to me about how healthy boundaries have played a role in making sure you aren't overdoing it. Because when you have health
Oh,
challenges,
yeah.
everything changes.
Yes. And this also requires a lot of energy. Like you would think it's like, oh, it's just gonna happen, right? But I often feel like when you're talking about my business, I feel like planning for large scale events, it's almost like you're planning for your own event. And so you take that ownership and responsibility where it almost feels like I'm managing spinning plates. So it's like I'm managing spinning plates across my business and my life, and they're all spinning at different, rates. And because I'm a natural planner, again, and I plan in quarters, I feel like, oh man, I'm so behind on this. I have to keep spinning this one and then this one. And it's almost like a balancing act, right? Trying to
Mhm.
decipher and learn that not everything is urgent. And I think that took me a little while to kind of master. It's like just because it seems it's urgent doesn't mean it's actually urgent. And so I kind of learned to pause and kind of check in with my body and also with my planner. Like I love to have a paper planner, even though I'm very sustainable and I have everything on my phone. But I love to just have it out and write notes. Okay, this is what I'm focusing on, and this is not quite an emergency. So that can kind of wait and that can be on the back burner. That plate
Mhm.
can wait. It doesn't have to spin that fast right now. And it's not an urgent need that I need to take care of. And also, delegation has been working great for me.
Mhm.
Having a team really allows for that time to just release that mental load a little bit and just pass it along to somebody else and say, hey, this is your responsibility. And it allows for growth and personal development for them as well. So
Yeah.
I think that I've really learned to just pause and just really be intentional with everything that I do. And I don't have to do everything at once. Like I
Mm.
just have to allow myself grace and know that, hey, I'm not a human robot. Like I'm a human. I'm a person that needs to allow themselves time to breathe and rest. And I feel like also like our culture and society, um, they kind of applaud that doer mentality and that like you have to be a go-getter, you have to do, you have to perform, you always have to like be competing with the Joneses. And it's like, okay, that right now it's about me, my mental focus, my clarity, and what is going to work for me. So I'm just trying to be there for myself and to learn to really just decrease that mental load, because sometimes we can't turn off our mind. Like our
Yeah.
mind keeps going because we have so many goals, so many things that we want to achieve, not just in our business, but in our life. And so I think that that's probably one of the ways, or one of the many ways that I just kind of deal with that mental aspect of it, is just delegation and knowing when things are not urgent. They can just wait a little longer. That plate doesn't need to spin that fast. It's somebody else's urgency and emergency. It's not my emergency, not my urgency.
Oh, that's the one of the smartest things. And also, I think too, you got to take yourself out of that hypervigilant mode and stop and that
Mm-hmm.
presence of like, why do I feel like I'm being chased by the lion right now? What story am I telling myself that is telling me this is urgent when it's not? When we can
Mm-hmm.
start deciphering that way. And I think that way you plan in quarters too. You've got a plan
Okay.
in place,
Yeah.
and then you can go in and look at it and tweak it if you need to, but it's laid out and set. And I think there's so much power to. I mean, you are very eco-responsible, and we're going to get to that in a minute,
Yes.
but there is power in this is my journal. And even though I do 90% of what I do online, the writing it down, and
Mm-hmm.
there's something therapeutic about that.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that so much. Okay. Talk to me about your mental, emotional, physical health connections, your journeys, understanding how they all impact each other.
I think I really learned how to slow down,
Mm,
and because I'm dealing with a lot of different health issues, I feel like my body forced me to slow down. It forced me to delegate. It forced me. So if it's something that you gain from listening in today to the podcast, don't wait. I urge you to not wait. Don't wait till
mm,
your body tells you, or you might have a mental breakdown, or don't wait for things to happen. Just start now, and then don't overwhelm yourself. Start like I did, just very small. So I think that everything is very interconnected. Just allowing that quiet time to help
yeah.
reset mentally and emotionally, I think it really helped me. Also, just going on walks. And when I first started, it was not like, I know it's going to sound like just going to the corner and back, doing a 5 minute walk, something that was very plausible for me, because sometimes it's like, oh, I have a deadline, there's an event going on, and I have to do all these things to prepare for it. So just being able to step back and say, okay, it's only going to be 5 minutes. I know that I'm
Mhm.
on a roll. Sometimes I don't like to stop midway because I'm on a roll, and things just seem like they're moving. That momentum is just going. So I don't want to stop. But then I have to realize, like, okay, I need a break because I'm getting really overwhelmed by all the things that I have tasked myself with today or is expected of me today. And so I just need to step back, just 5 minutes, unplug. And normally I've realized that these 5 minute little walks tend to go a little longer because it really helps me clear my mind. And then it
Yes.
makes my body feel good. And so
Mhm.
then I'm like, okay, now I'm re energized. Now I can refocus on what I was doing before. And so then I just allow myself that time and that grace to be human and say, hey, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. But now I'm doing something about that overwhelm, and that mental load can really just sit back, and I can just sit back and relax as well. Like that mental load is not there any longer. And so
Yeah.
I feel like it all kind of goes hand in hand. It's just it's like a little cycle. It just all
Yeah.
kind of works together.
Yeah. And you recognize that. And I'm going to go back. You said this a few minutes ago too, that delegation piece. Boy, when we can learn to release control and
Mm-hmm.
trust ourselves and trust other people, that goes such a long way. That is such a great protector. And you're also, you said
Mm-hmm.
it earlier, you're empowering them. And that,
Yes.
which is such a part of your community focus and your empathy anyway. So you're running your business out of your values. You're also not running yourself into the ground.
That's
And,
right.
and those 5 minute walks, don't underestimate the power of those, not
Yes,
just for
exactly.
your body, but just your mind. You said that
Hmm.
boy, when you can give yourself a few minutes to just reset the nervous system and clear the space,
Yes.
it's incredible what that can do for you.
Yes. And especially not rushing. Like I noticed, like I would rush myself to fix things immediately. Like I needed to get it done just because someone else thought it was an emergency. I made it my emergency. I think that has
Mhm.
created just so much peace of mind and just so much more mental clarity.
Yeah, I love that. That's so good. All right. Let's talk about showing up unapologetically for yourself as well as for
Mm.
others. You really live that out. You've learned, you're learning how to take care of yourself. You're responding
Hmm.
to what your body tells you. You're delegating
Hmm.
things to other people. You're taking that space and being very committed to that. You've created this business that no one else has done it the way you've done it. And talk about honoring impact on the
Yes.
environment and honoring your values. Talk to me about the birth of your balloon business and what it has, and how you even knew to do this?
Okay. Well, I've always been very conscious about the impact that things have, and I know like the plastic bags at the grocery store and all these things changing. And then I myself have a lot of allergies like to perfumes and other chemicals, and so I started to eat cleaner, and also the products that I use are cleaner. And so when I was doing the business, I was like, I need this to represent who I am, and in every aspect of it. And because I feel like I'm a natural encourager and I tend to uplift people, that's where my business name came from. Uplift,
Perfect.
because that's what I want to give to others. I want to give that feeling, that emotion of being uplifted and being encouraged. And balloons are very uplifting, right? And when you think of balloons, you think of people making memories and where they gather. And these memories last for a lifetime. And these memories is what makes, right? But I wanted to go further than that. We do live in the agriculture. We live in the Central Valley, which is Central California, and it's huge on ag land. And I always thought of all the impacts, the chemicals have on our health. And I'm like, okay, how are our balloons impacting the environment? If I sell to someone and they release the balloon, we don't know where it's going to come down. Like what goes up must come down, but where it lands, we have no control where the balloon is going to land. And so I thought of myself having that standard of that commitment to going back after the event, cleaning everything up, and making sure it's disposed responsibly, because we want to eliminate harming wildlife. And I think that was the biggest thing for me, is not knowing what happens to those balloons afterwards. So I actually pay for a service. Our green certification does not require us to recycle balloons, but we go above and beyond, because that is truly who we are at heart. And so I wanted something that was mine, and I'm hoping other people so replicate it. But that is who I am, and you're very right. It is who I am, and it's an extension of who I am. And so that is why I wanted to reflect just a little piece of me. And so I wanted to share that with other people. Yes, you can have balloons, make it a celebration, but you can also be responsible and think about where your balloons are going to end up the next day. And so here in the Central Valley, there's no way to dispose of them properly. So if you throw them in your recycling bin, it's probably going to end up in a landfill, and it's not going to go where you want it to go. And wildlife does not distinguish food from balloons. They just see something shiny and colorful and they think it's food, and so they want to go and get it. And that's where you have the choking and things like that with wildlife. And so we want to eliminate that. And that is why we took it upon ourselves and made it a mission to truly make sure that we are completely sustainable in that aspect of it. And going back to why we love to I wanted to tie it in. So why we do what we do, and I think that the why is through my work, we're also empowering the community and also educating the public on the effects of balloons, of the negative things that can happen when you release a balloon. And so I think that it brings more awareness and consciousness of people to know, like, hey, I don't want to hurt my community. I don't want to hurt the environment that I live in. And I think it all ties back into self-care. If we care for ourselves, we care for other people, we care for our environment. And so it just all ties together.
Yeah, it's such an embodiment of your values. It's such an embodiment of what you care about. When did you decide that this was a shift you could make? When did you realize, I think I can do something about this?
Just took a lot of research before starting my business. We didn't have all the AI tools that we have now. I wish we would have had that, but it was just through just research and learning experience, calling and talking to different people, and then just finally discovering, like, hey, there is something out there. It's just not cheap, and it's not free. And so really thinking of, what are my values, and do I really want to do this, even though it's going to hurt that bottom line that all businesses are worried about, is like, oh, that bottom line. And so for me, it's like, are we going to be sustainable, not just financially, but we're creating a bigger impact that is going to be a lasting effect, and hopefully it's going to trickle down to the rest of our industry. And I feel like we're already there. There's a lot of talks and conversations that I hear a lot of manufacturing people and wholesalers and even other decorators that are already trying to shift that focus into possibly having more sustainable practices. And so I'm excited that I'm able to be a pioneer and lead in that way in my industry.
I love that. I love that. And that goes really nicely into expectations. You've defied expectations. You have like, wait a minute, we don't need to just live in this status quo here. Something different is possible. Tell me, what do you think it is in you, in your background, what you've been taught, who you are as a person that kind of gave you the confidence and knowledge and curiosity to pursue that?
Yeah. So I think that we all fall into that trap, especially, as a young teenager and then going to college, kind of measuring ourselves by others' expectations. And it's very easy to compare ourselves. And I feel like now, especially with the age that we live in, with social media being so prevalent, it's like everyone has a phone, everyone's on social media consuming all the time. And it's so easy to compare yourself to others and want to have that expectation for yourself. But I've always been more inward looking, almost like I don't want to go with the flow just because everyone says this is what's expected of me. I want to think about me and what really fills my cup and makes me happy. Like we only have one life, right, to live, and life is short. We don't know when is going to be the end of life for us. And so it's like I need to do what makes me happy and what's going to move the needle forward for me and my goals and my values. And so I focus on that, on my values and the season of life. Maybe in my next season it's going to be a little different. But I think that through all of it, it's just that piece of knowing of that self-trust and not looking for that external validation and approval. I think just defining success on my own terms.
Yeah. Oh, that self-trust piece is key. If we can learn to trust ourselves and know that those nudges we get are for us and not second guess them or question them, that is such a powerful, it's when we can really move into that and really live from that place, it really allows us to live authentically. It really allows us to show up in ways that honor ourselves. And did you have a moment in time where that really hit for you, or do you feel like you've always naturally walked in
that? That's a good one. I think just I'm the firstborn of 5. So I think I'm just like a natural.
You're an oldest daughter.
Yeah. So I think I'm just like a natural leader.
Yep.
And so you are too?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So it just comes naturally, right? Like this mama hen idea, this wanting to serve others, this need to lead and to lead by example. So I think it's just embedded in who I am, because that's just a part of who I am.
You do it in a really honoring way, though. You do it in a way that honors your values and who you are. You're not, at least from the outside looking in, you're not stuck in these codependent enmeshed, I got to take care of, I'm responsible for everybody else. You care about others, but you don't take it on. You have great boundaries and understanding of that.
Yeah. And I think that's trial and error. So again, goes back to being the oldest and being responsible of my siblings, and I was like, wait, that's on you. So I think learning that early on and saying like, no, you have to do your homework. I'm not going to do it for you. I can help you and equip you and give you the tools, but you need to do this for yourself. And so I think that oftentimes by helping others and doing things for others, we do them a disservice, because then in the end, they don't really learn and they don't really grow. And so I think that really prepped me for life. And that's just a part of who I am, and just embracing that.
Yeah. And you empower people instead of enabling people. And when you empower them, that's the greatest gift you can give.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a good gift. Oh, thank you so much for that. All right. Talk to me about your embracing layers journey, all the pieces and parts of your story. Life is not easy. It's thrown you some curveballs. You've had some things come up that you didn't see coming and navigated that, but you navigate it with such a grace and a wisdom and a very strong sense of who you are. Talk to me about because for me, that's a scenario I struggled with for a long time. I really had to get to a point where I could be curiosity could come in rather than judgment about pieces and parts of my story. And I had to be able to remove that. I'm like, let's get curious about that. Let's meet that 18-year-old where she was when she met that decision.
Yes.
Let's meet that diagnosis where it is and see, okay, how can I move forward from this rather than getting stuck in it? And that curiosity lens, what has helped you in embracing all of these different parts of your story, these layers?
Yeah. So because going back to the health issues, because I have my personal battles that I don't share with everyone, I think that changed my perspective on how I see others. Because even if someone's even if someone overreacts or says something to me, I feel like, okay, I don't know what their life looks like. I don't know even even if I have a well-intended comment, like it can be coming from the best of the intentions, it can be taken so many different ways, right? People's tones, people's body language, it just depends on their experience and who they are. And so sometimes you can't change that. And so because I have my own things going on, and life tends to be different for everyone. So there's challenges that we're going through right now. So we had to replace our roof, our AC. Both of our cars decided to be non-operational, even our newer car. So you know, like, but it's not anyone's fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to show up upset and like, you know, like I have a chip on my shoulder. It's like, it's all part of life. And if things didn't happen, then we wouldn't have these wonderful stories to share, right? I wouldn't be here telling you guys about it. So not only are both of our cars unoperational, we actually rented an electric vehicle for our business. It stopped charging. So it's like, there's so many, you know, like there's just so many things. And so I think that because life is so complex and it's already full of, how do I say it? It's just like these fun things that happen. Sometimes they're not fun, but they're just these unexpected things that are thrown our way. We need to remember who we are and just continue to be grounded and continue to show up for ourselves and show up for others authentically, just who we are. And so it's no longer about performing. It's no longer about pretending that my life is perfect, because things happen, but it's showing up with that grace and knowing that anything that's happening within my life or things that are out of my control, I shouldn't be responding to that in a negative way, and then also treating people poorly because of the things that are going on around me. So it doesn't matter how, like, the things that are happening around me, that shouldn't change who I am. So yes, the cars are not functioning, both of the cars. Yes, my EV vehicle is not working. Yes, we had to replace the roof. Yes, the AC wasn't working. But I shift that into being grateful. If I didn't have a vehicle and my husband didn't have a vehicle, if we didn't have that opportunity to rent the electric vehicle for our business, if we didn't have a home, if we didn't have an AC, so it's like we need to think about, like, wow, like it's just a part of, you know, living in a home. It's a part of owning a vehicle. It's a part of having a business. So these are things that are just challenges that arise that we need to learn how to navigate and deal with. And so it's just like, it's just part of life. So let's just go ahead and move forward. What are the things we need to do? I like the list. So let's make a list. What do we need to do? Who we need to call in order to get these things fixed? And so I feel like knowing that you're living through life and those experiences don't define you. It's how you respond and react to those experiences, right? And it's just even having boundaries with that, right? Like just knowing that, hey, we're dealing with so much right now. And then also knowing that how I show up for other people is very important. So I want to make sure that those connections and that relationship doesn't suffer because of what I'm dealing with. So it's like, yes, I can be dealing with so much, but that's going to fix itself eventually because I'm already doing the right things and just showing up authentically. Or you know what? Maybe not show up. That's another thing too. I learned I love to connect and go to all these events. And so if I had an invitation, I was like, yes, I am your yes man. Invite me. I want to be there. FOMO is real for me, you know? and just learning to say no. Hey, like right now I have a lot on my plate. I don't have to over explain and say I have
Yes.
this and this and this going on, but say, hey, thank you so much for thinking of me. I value your friendship, but I won't be able to show up for you for that event or for that whatever it is that you got invited for. But thank you so much for thinking of me. I'm not able to at this time. And I think that that works wonders. Like, and your friends know that when you're not showing up, it's for a reason. And when I show up, I want to show up and be fully present in that moment. And so if
Yeah.
I already know that in my mind I have all these things that are occupying the space, like dealing with the car problems, dealing with the business, dealing with the home issues. If I know that I'm already overloaded and overburdened, or I'm dealing with pain today, I'm having physical limitations, or I'm not mentally okay today, or emotionally I just don't feel okay, then I'm going to take that time for myself and spend it at home doing things that I know are going to make those things that I had no control over
Yeah.
uh, have a resolution for that. And then I can be ready to say yes to those invitations at a later time. So also like knowing when to say yes and when to say no, and when to give yourself grace and say, hey, today is not a great day for me to be out in public and interact, because those interactions might not come off as who I really am.
Yes.
And that is okay too. So yeah, just setting those healthy boundaries for oneself and knowing like, hey, today my body's not feeling too well, or
Mhm.
I need to spend time away. I need to give myself time, and not just seeing it as a, okay, looking forward, like I'm going to go on vacation and that's my time to be off. It's like you can take your little vacation at home. You can do a little staycation. I'm going to have one day where I'm completely unplugged, do the staycation so that I am embracing all the layers, right?
Yeah.
And want to show up for myself and not just for everyone else. So it doesn't seem like a performance, or I'm overextending and overstretching myself or overburdening myself. And it's just a way to be honest to yourself and to others.
Yeah. Ah, such a great explanation of that. Thank you so much for sharing that. That was so good. All right. You really do live out what I call finding empowerment, embracing layers. That is a practice of yours. As I observe you, talk to me about how that has impacted your relationship with yourself as well
Mm,
as your relationship with other people.
I think I'm able to communicate more clearly and
Mm,
honestly with other people. And I feel like because of that, I've been able to make stronger like relationships and friendships, like a stronger bond, because it's just more meaningful. So when you connect and you show up authentically, it just, people know that that's who you are. And it's not like you're performing. Again, it's not like you're putting up facade, like kind of when you're dating, it's like, ooh, you want to be, you want it's like, this is me, like, hey. And if they ask me, and it's so hard sometimes, because sometimes people are like, oh, how are you? It's like, don't just ask me, because I know here again within our culture, it's like, oh, hey,
yeah.
how are you? They don't want that 5 minute
Yeah.
detail of how are you. It's like, so people already know, don't ask her, because she will share how she's doing. So if you ask me how I'm doing, I will say, well, you know what?
I
Let me
love
tell you how
that.
my day. And then ask, and how are you doing? Or how's the family, or whatever we left off on. So it's like, I really want to make sure that I'm there for those real connections.
Yeah. You made a really, really, really important point there. And I've talked about this in the past on this platform, but not in a while. When you ask someone how they are, mean that. Be ready to settle in. Be ready to listen. Be
Yes.
ready to be a safe place for them to land. If you don't have that capacity, simply say hello. Grab their hand, smile, say hello, and move. But I think it's become such this, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. How many times do people say they're fine
Mm,
just to
yeah.
answer they're not fine? They're not, and
No.
that's okay. Like we
Yeah,
we feel like
exactly.
we have to be fine all the time. And so it's
Yeah, we
two
don't.
ways. It's we don't have to be fine. No one's fine all the time.
No.
And so when you ask that question, ask it with an intention to actually sit and listen. And when you're and giving that answer, and if you're not sure, people's like, well, I can tell you how I am, if you don't have the capacity, I thank you for asking. We can get together at another time. This is not the time for that. But I think
and I love that. I love that about you. I love that you say that. Hey, this is gonna, this is gonna take more time. Let's do lunch. Let's do coffee. I love that, because then that makes me feel special. That makes me feel like we're allowing time for us to discuss further, because I care so much about you that now I have to schedule you into my everyday routine or my business or whatnot. I love that.
Yeah. But I think it's that intention. I love that so much. All right. In wrapping this up today, talk to me about 5 activities that nourish you.
Yes. Going back to that quiet time. I love people, and I do love to chat, and I love to visit, but that piece is very important. So quiet time would be the biggest one for me, quiet time. Walking. I feel like walking gives me clarity. And even if it's 5 minutes, even when I'm in the middle of overwhelm, that goes a long way for me. Reading. I do love to read. So I used to get lost in reading. So now I kind of have a boundary for myself and say 1 chapter. one chapter. Yeah. So reading is a big one for me. And then I love my massage chair. I'm addicted to that. My husband gifted that to me, and that's like the best present ever. So allowing that pause and saying, hey, my body needs this right now. It's not a luxury anymore. I really need to listen to my body. This aches, this hurts, this crunches, this aches. I need to take that time off. And resting. Resting is such a huge one, without feeling that pressure, that guilt. Because before, I know, like, it's hard for a lot of us to just rest without feeling like, oh, but I'm so behind. Oh, but I have to do so much. Like, I have to clean, and I have to cook, and I have to get the business going, and I have to post on social media, and I have to go to this meeting, I have to go to that meeting. It's like there's so much pressure already externally, where we just need to allow ourselves to completely unplug and say, this is me time. I'm going to be resting, and don't feel guilty about it. We need to be able to rest in order to show up for others, and not just for others, but for ourselves.
Yeah.
And do it optimally. Like, show up for ourselves, like, genuinely, like, what do I need today? Like, and sometimes it might not be rest. Sometimes it could be like, I just need to read. I just need to get away. I need to unplug. So whatever it is for you, just find that. But for me, I think those will be the top 5 for me.
Oh, I love that. So good. And that just, again, that's presence and listening to yourself and responding to that, and knowing that, I say this all the time. I'm like, no one wins when they get a depleted version of us.
No.
No one wins. And so that understanding, this is not selfish. This is self-preservation. This is healthy. And this is honoring to the people I'm showing up for. All of those things are true. Yeah.
Yeah, because we can't operate in lack. We can't operate in the overwhelm. Like, then you get burned out, and then you really can't.
Yeah. Yeah. And then no one wins there. No one wins. Thank you so much for that. So good. Okay. 5 words on how you want to feel the next 6 months.
Healthy would be a good one. Healthy, clear-minded, peaceful, balanced, and grounded.
Really good. I love that. All right. Marianela, share with people where they can find and follow you, learn more about all that you do. This will also be on our resources page at embracinglayers.com when this episode drops, but take a quick moment to share with people where they can find and follow you.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram or LinkedIn under Uplift Balloon Events. You can follow our adventures there, and I share a little bit of who we are and what. Again, it's Uplift Balloon Events.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for that. Any last thoughts you'd like to leave with our listeners?
Oh, just stay true to who you are. At the end of the day, it's your life, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. You need to be at peace with yourself, and you need to love who you are and just live authentically. Remember that you only have one life. Just make it count.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Thank you, my friend, for joining me today.
Thank you.
I've been so looking forward to this. So excited to share you with our listeners. Listeners, go check out what Marianela is doing and go check out what's possible in your area. If you're in a business where you're like, wait a minute, she figured out how to take care of her balloon waste in an, ecologically friendly way, in an impactful way. Wow. She really is a pioneer in this conversation. So go check out what she's doing. If you're in the Central Valley, go get those balloons. They're fantastic. They're so thoughtful. Their creations make you feel alive. It's really fantastic. It really emanates all that you represent.
Thank you so
really
much.
Does.
Thank you.
It really does. Absolutely. All right, listeners, remember, you are worthy, you are valuable, and you get to choose. Thanks so much for being with us today here on the Field Podcast. I'll see you next time. Hello, and thank you so much for being with us today on this episode of the Feel Podcast. If you would like more information on how you can apply these talking points that I share with our guests in each episode to your own life, really utilize this Feel framework, go to embracinglayers.com, fill out our contact form, and let's set up a free 30-minute consultation to talk about how you can start living your most authentic, organic, healthy, feel-fueled life. Thanks again for being with us today. We'll be back to you soon with another episode here on the Feel Podcast.